It's a milestone for me. I managed to go up the stairs on my own, unaided, after about 2 weeks of excruciating pain. So here we are, better days, sunny day. I woke up with a good feeling and sort of asked myself, why have a new day when you can have a new life? And for this life, I wanted to be pain-free, or at least not allowing pain to determine what my day is like. Let's make pain an external, which it is, and let's assume it is there, which it is. And what else can happen after that? It can't be the whole picture. So today's thinking about my final, the 9th piece of my collection for post-COVID-19 has to do with Greece again. I'm really shocked by how much Greece is part of my inspiration, my thinking, my explanation of the whole COVID experience. And I went back to this idea of rhetoric and oratory. The two words in English seem to have a very similar meaning, but in fact they're very different. Rhetoric being the art of persuasion, and oratory the means of delivering this art. I focused on the work of Demosthenes, a famous orator in ancient Athens, who shares the same name as my father. Demosthenes had a serious speech impediment, a combination of not being able to pronounce certain letters, stammering, shortness of breath, and constriction of his throat when under stress. Plutarch, the historian, describes in detail the harsh methods devised and imposed by a young Demosthenes on himself. He underwent self-confinement in a small cave, having brought enough food with him to allow him to stay there for a few days. To make sure he would not lose his discipline and give up, he shaved half of his head, knowing that he would have to wait for his hair to grow before coming into contact with anybody. He also made himself a very narrow bed so that he would find it easier to wake up and rise every morning. His main problem with the letter R was dealt in two ways. First, by filling his mouth with small pebbles in order to strengthen his tongue muscle into a roll. And secondly, as he realized that making the sound resulted in his left shoulder rising, he stuck a sword in the ceiling just over his shoulder, meaning that if he forgot to keep his shoulder down, he would be cut. He also trained himself to speak over the noise of other people's voices and booing by practicing his speeches by the shore near Athens, speaking above the surges and the noise of the waves. And finally, to take care of the shortness of his breath, he employed the famous actor Neoptolemus a considerable amount, 10,000 drachmas, to teach him to complete entire sentences in a single breath.